Some for the glories of this world, and some sigh for the prophet's paradise to come. I take the cash and let the credit go, nor heed the rumble of a distant drum. In heaven the pleasure drums beat like rain, or so 'tis claimed, to relieve mortal pain. But we needn't pay for promise beyond. Here, from life's currency, weave the same.
Heaven, ours, cows, ours, found exist, they say, and their pure wine and honey sweet have they.
Fill up and pass the cup,
Far better cash
than is 1,000 promises to pay. Above us the branches slowly sway and fan away the little creatures that try to lamp. The trickling waters play tinkling lullabies, while flocks of returning geese fly the sky. She is sweet, soft and inconsolably wild, as she lies beside me like a sleeping child. Her quiet breathing stirs not the wooded scene, and she rests silently on the forest green. I caress her tresses in romantic rhythm. To the contented sigh she sends toward heaven. Wismunda, where the grass pledges the stream, half awake or asleep in love's peaceful dream. Throughout the day we sit beside a brook,
reading with life its most wonderful book,
then sleep with each other in a sweet nook.
and this of her and me was all eternal.
So here we lay in the embrace of love, and in our intensity lose track of the world around, and are surprised alone, and see beside us a rabbit and a dog. With care they yet wave to and fro. Storms can scatter the flowers that love grows. Like living lenses, we mirror our love in feedback loops, images spiral above. echoing as infinite reflections that fill up the scene. That's what love's made of. Success blossoms out of a thoughtful dream, grown from seeds of what life to one would seem, then bears forth fruit healthy and delicious, in the garden watered by a wishing stream. Life, mind, spirit, form, time and consciousness, derived from the primordial content that materialized from the fundamental, granting us the experience of being. Our fruits are of a universal seed, as yet another yield of all possibility tree. For siblings elsewhere in the entropic sea are also born of such probability. The basis is forever no creation, energy being the prime explosion, an entirety of seed that it can be. No way but vanish eternally. All from stardust begins and ends in thee, the mighty wrecks of the elements as true. Across the universe like chaff from the harvest, much of the cosmos still a vast wasteland. Keratins old man sits silently by the sundial in time's sanctuary, slowly marking the hours by the shadows that creep over the face of eternity. I know what is and what is not, I show as myth of grace above and waste below. But all this wisdom I will quick renounce, if want a better place than drink and show. To miserly creatures thou hast given, that's in waterways in the earth within. And we must pledge our goods for nightly bread. Who would give a fig for such a heaven? Were it not folly spider-like to spin the thread of present life away to win? What? For ourselves who know not if we shall breathe out the very breath we now breathe in. So future columns we stretch our present row, by a lifeline of tenuously spun vow. Oh, how soon the weighted web begins to fail. The only real time under our feet is now. Life's a web of who's, whys, whats, and hows, stretched as time between eternal bows. Gossamer threads bear the beads that glisten, each moment a sequence of instant nows. No matter how one tries to shake from vows, the fruits of truth from the tree of no's. Computation makes not yet the morrows. There's not else but load, resultant nows. Days are the cyclic units of time's pearls, each worn round in the necklace of the months. They distance themselves like night echoes into the rosary of the seasons. Memories, ideas recall the last hurt time. Sensation savors what is presently known. Imagination anticipates coming songs. A delight such that none could produce alone. Look to the rose that blows about us low. Laughing, she says, into the world I blow. At once the silken tassel of my purse tear, and its treasure on the garden throw. This morning dewdrops pearl the tulip's face, while the violet drooping bows in grace. But fairest the rosebud does closely lace her skirts to shield her blush from winds abase. A rose's prime lasts for but an hour of morn, flowering and free, then fragile and forlorn. The petals float to earth, and they signify that beauty's past, for all that's left is the thorn. At first we sleep in our dear mother's womb, at last we sleep in the cold silent tomb. In between, life whispers a dream that says, wake, live, for the rose withers all too soon. With the rose, the earth is rich forever. It's born from spring's dying drifts to summer. It wears all the gems the dew has reaped self we form, one both friend and lover.
Touching soul to soul through language we discover.
Opening each other up to connect ourselves. Now we two, total more than one, plus one other. The worldly hope men set their hearts upon turns ashes, or it prospers, and anon, like snow upon the desert's dusty face, lighting a little hour or two, is gone. In the hourglass of time, the desert's grains ever blow, grind, and blast the camel trains. Yet where the river flows, where grass grows, you and I, beloved, drink the wine's remains. What's continuous means a field that waves, naught else stillness is impossible. A field has a changing value everywhere, since the vacuum air has to fluctuate. The fields overlap and some interact, so there is one overall field as all, as the basis of all that is possible, of energy's base motion default, from the field points ever fluctuating. Quantum field waverings have to result from points they're dragging on one another. Points are bits that may fall as astros, as sums of harmonic oscillators. Seals can only form their elementaries at stable quanta energy levels. All the excitation levels are virtual. And those who husband the golden grain, and those who flung it to the winds like rain, alike to no such aureate earth are turned, as buried once, men want dug up again. Ere fate fells you dried up like an old leaf, course red wine through thy veins of light so brief. Ne'er for treasured gold will you be dug up, nor even sought by an impoverished thief. Our wheel of heaven to tyranny inclined, to us ere your wont to show yourself unkind. And cruel earth, if they should cleave your breast, what score of buried jewels they would find. transforms as heaven's wheel into golden cups and goblets like us made. We have often asked why some space exists, why it torments the countless to briefly persist. On Mother Earth, nourished under Father's sky, all of those finite sparks that light and die. One need not look where there is no light, for being alive is the very meaning of life. Living life is the sparkle that gleams so bright. White parade in the dark, when all hear so in this battered caravan's array, whose doorways are alternate night and day. How Sultan after Sultan with his pomp abode his destined hour and went his way. What is the world? A caravan's array, a piebald pavilion of night and day, a feast whereat 1,000 Jamshids sat, a couch whereon 1,000 Bahrams lay. This caravan of life passes mysteriously. Mayest thou seize the moment that passes happily. Cupbearer, why grieve about the sorrow of thy patrons? Bring forth the wine cup for the night waits. Morning springs us over the wasteland's brink, and on time send we the oasis drink. Lie straight, caravan, through the desert winds, back toward nothing drink, for the light sink. They say the lion and the lizard keep the courts where Jamshid gloried and drank deep. And Baham, that great hunter, the wild boar, stamps o'er his head, but cannot break his sleep. In that palace which Baham took the cup, the fox whelped and the lion took its sup. Bahram there brought death to the wild asker. Now Baham's been taken by the grave girl, where in yon palace Bahram wine cup rest. The robe is young, the lion oft take rest. King Bahram, who in new soft caught the gur, see wine cups to his lips. The robe is young, the lion calmly rests. King Bafram, whose softened snare begur, see how the grave at last snared him instead. The great equalizer stalks all creatures made, lying never just round the corner in the shade, taking both human and the beetle as one, after their lives are spent from morning sundone. Born of stardust and nourished by sunlight, I fill my cup with wonders of delight. Life is a treasure, the radiant gem, a vision that I'll never see again. The palace that to heaven is pillars through, and kings the forehead on his threshold drew. I saw the solitary ring dove there, and coo, 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 she cried, and coo, coo, coo. I saw a bird perched on the walls of Tus. Before him lay the skull of Kai Kawas, and thus he made his moan, "Alas, poor king, thy drums are hushed, thy larums have rung true." Where are they? Coo, clustering dove. Who were they? Hoots, the old owl. When were they? Queries the new fowl. Why were they? Cries the child of love. Eat our smoke from embers, ash fades away. Let war carve our wolf, and we've burned to clay. How many beautiful hearts have melted here, where in heaven's cosmic faults wefts their sway.